Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Rant Spot. I am the Water Dog. This is
Menard.
and our buddy Clint is on vacation. Have fun out there, Clint. We wish you the best, brother. Hey, gang, we're going to get into our Week 10 game picks, and we're going to look at the current standings. And right now, Clint took the lead, brother. He's 39-15. He had a perfect 6-0 week. I went 30. I'm now 35-19, and Brendan's in second place with 37-17. So 4 games separate us here on the Pick'ems, but Clint is currently in first after that 6-0 tromping of last week. Nobody likes Clint.
Hey, I will stick by it.
You'll stick by your picks?
That, and I will not pick the Jets, and he will.
So there you go. So let's get it, because we got a plethora of games, a 6-pack for you of fun, and we're going to start off right out of the gate with a great Thursday night matchup. Cincinnati at Baltimore. These are, by the way, these are Clint's picks for this week. There you go. All 6 of them right there lined up for you, so you know who he's taking. But we're going to get started with Cincinnati, Baltimore. Brendan, who you got?
So I think this is going to be a really exciting game. It's an divisional game. I think it's Derrick Henry. And so I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. They're able to run the football with him. It's at Baltimore. And Cincinnati, yes, did look good against the Raiders in the previous week, but I think the Ravens are really one of the few teams that have an all-around, and they're really good. And so that's going to be a tough team to beat. So give me the Ravens here.
They're playing at home. I mean, the Ravens are playing at home, and as much as I was impressed with Cincinnati this past week, I think they're going to drop to 4-6. I think it's going to be another loss. Look, there's only probably 2 teams I take over the Ravens right now. That would be Kansas City and Detroit. That's probably the only 2 teams.
They're really the 3 complete.
Yeah.
That are really just. It's hard to pick against them.
Right, and so I agree with you. And I just, Cincinnati has kind of climbed their way back into the playoff hunt, but I think they're going to take a step back this week just simply because I just don't think that they can beat the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's do it to it. Another good game. 2 teams that both need a win. San Francisco at Tampa Bay. Who you got, Mr. Brendan?
So in this game, I think Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay played really good against Kansas City.
Yeah.
They played really good. I was actually like, I'm about to lose another game.
What I was saying last week is that I thought this was the week that Kansas City lost because you've got, like I said, I love the way Baker Mayfield's playing this year. This year, he's just scrappy. He is just, and he almost won that game for him.
I don't know what capacity Christian McCaffrey might be in this, but I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. I just believe as a whole, with Shanahan, and then they're going to get something going offensively, and they're just going to win this game in Tampa.
I'm kind of torn. This one's a hard game for me, simply because I'm rooting for Tampa Bay. But I think that this type of loss that you have in a game that you felt like you probably should have won to a certain degree, where you gave everything you got, you're coming down on a short week against a team that's going to be, more prepared for you, and getting a little bit healthier. Okay, man, I got to go San Francisco. As much as I want to see Tampa Bay win. I mean, I do. I want to see the Buccaneers. I would like to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I think they would be fascinating in the playoffs. But I just don't think that they're going to get the W here against San Fran. I'm kind of with you there.
Well, I think with Tampa Bay making the playoffs, as exciting as we have that gunslinger. It's unpredictable.
Well, he's playing. Look. If Tampa Bay makes the playoffs, Baker's going to get some MVP votes because Baker has played his best football, I think, this year. And that's despite the fact that that this is a team that's got a losing record. I still think that he's played his best football this year. You can't control every aspect of the game. You can't control the defense. You can't control injuries to the receivers and everything else. But you can control what you do, and that boy's giving 120% effort. I'm telling you right now. I've enjoyed watching him play. Next game, another fun game to look at. That's going to be here, Pittsburgh at Washington. Who you got?
So when we kind of got the games we were picking, this was the hardest one. And even now, up to the minute, I just wanted to see it in the moment because I love the Commanders. I really do. I like everything about the Commanders. I think they're playing really well. The Pittsburgh Steelers play great defense. And Russell Wilson has been very impressive, I think, kind of coming back from what we thought we might see. And Najee Harris is running extremely well.
What about the pickup that they just got? Williams.
Well, Mike Williams, but then also the Commanders got Lattimore.
Yeah, they got the defensive back.
I'm going to take the Commanders in this game simply because that's who I'm rooting for. And I want to see Washington. I think Washington's a good team. I think Pittsburgh plays really good defense, so that would be very interesting for me to watch this Washington offense versus them. And the Commanders kind of have won their last 2 games, very close. And I'm just going to take the Commanders in this one.
What do you think about the Commanders' running game?
I think, if Robinson is not playing, I don't think it's as strong. It leans a lot more on Daniels. If Robinson's not that power back to kind of go in there, we kind of saw that with Eckler this week. And I don't know if Robinson's playing or if he's not, but I think Jaden Daniels another week getting healthy. The problem is the Pittsburgh Steelers have such a good defense. It's going to be a tough matchup.
Well, you're going to go Washington. Clint's going Washington, but you already should know who I'm going for because I picked this team to make the playoffs. And they're currently 6-2. And I said when Russell Wilson becomes the starting quarterback, they're going to be a better team. They are a better team with Russell Wilson at the quarterback spot. They've improved this team. They're healthy than they've ever been. And, I think adding another big receiver to catch balls in the end zone is just going to help Russell Wilson because now you got George Pickett and you've got Mike Williams. And so if you're down in the red zone, you've got 2 legitimate red zone targets that you can do the old Russell Wilson go get it pass. You know what I'm saying? And so I've got Pittsburgh. I mean, I just don't think that Washington's going to be able to handle that defensive front from Pittsburgh. The only way to me for the Redskins to have any chance of winning this game is they're going to have to establish something out of the running game, if not the screen game. So they're either going to have to be able to run it well, or they're going to have to be able to do some screen passes to take some pressure off. At best, they better have some short dropbacks for Jaden Daniels and not these long dropbacks.
I would assume the Steelers' defensive plan to stop this run game is put Watt on one side and then put like an extra guy on the other, because the idea is I'll run away from Watt. But then if you put another guy over there, then it's kind of, do you run at him or do you run into where you're outnumbered? And I think Pittsburgh could win this game. I'm picking the Commanders to win this, but it would not surprise me if Pittsburgh won that game.
All right, let's do it to it. Next big game. To me, another close game, but I think most of us are on board with some of this here. That's the Jets and the Arizona Cardinals. I already know who you're taking.
So I'll go 5-1 or I'll go 6-0. But I will be danged if I pick the New York Jets. So give me the Cardinals to win this, and I really hope Aaron Rodgers throws a pick 6 in this game. I'll go 6-0, 5-1. I don't care, but I ain't picking the Jets.
I'm going to take the Jets. I think the Jets, still have a chance to make the playoffs because the schedule dictates it for them. I mean, because if you look at it realistically, on paper, they're better than most of the opponents that they're fixing to be playing. On paper, they're better than most of the opponents they're about to face this. So you could feasibly see the Jets getting to 10 wins. And so, to me, that's where the shift is going. And as far as the Cardinals go, the Cardinals have played some good football, but they haven't played great football. There's just, once again, this is a team that fights, but it's got some holes. And Kyler Murray, you don't know which you're going to get. From one game, he's good. The next game, he's not so good. James Conner is the best player on that team. And so you're really going to have to utilize him. But the Jets defense have gotten better because Reddick's out there now. And so this is going to be a game, and it's important for both teams, because the Cardinals can't afford to lose this game. Because you've got the Rams on the uprise, you've got the 49ers on the uprise, and just because they're currently leading the division doesn't mean that's something that they're going to hang on to. They need this win this week. That's a big win for them if they can get it.
I do appreciate you every week putting the Jets on our pick'ems, because it gives me 30 seconds to pick against them. I feel every week they'll be on here just like Houston.
Well, it's like matchups. I mean, a lot of this stuff, man, it's just I try to get the sixth pick. You know, what I think is the six best matchups in the game. You know,
Yeah.
And so, and a lot of times, you know, that becomes a little difficult. But for the most part, the matchups dictate it. You know, the matchups dictate what's going to be the best matchups this week, and I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Interesting. Let's do it. Philadelphia, Dallas.
So this is tough. Only because, and hear me out, because Dak went on, or supposed to go on IR, Jerry Jones said. I doubt a CeeDee Lamb. I don't know if he's going to play. And so looking at this, you would think Philadelphia. Right out the gate, easy, no question. Because I would assume Cooper Rush is going to be the one playing for Dallas.
He'll be playing.
This is my only problem. The Eagles love to let teams back into games. They love to make little mistakes. And I'm going to pick Philadelphia to win this game. But I do think this is a game they could lose. Because last week, they were at 22 points?
Yeah.
And they let that other team right back into it. On just bad coaching, plays, fumbles, everything.
Well, sometimes momentum just catches up against a team, you know. But the nice thing is you've already built that lead up. But it's not unheard of to see a team, you know, lose a big lead.
Well, not only that, but we've also seen Philly so many times. They look great, and then the very next game, they don't look good. And so I think this is a losable game for the Eagles, and Dallas can get a win here even with the backup and without the receiver because Philly will let teams back in. I'm going to pick Philly to win this simply because I think Saquon Barkley is one of just the best players.
There's your point.
In the game, and they're just going to keep feeding him the football.
Right, because Dallas can't stop the run. That's really going to be the difference in the game, okay? Jalen Hurts has been running the football well. Saquon Barkley's been running the football well. The Dallas Cowboys cannot stop the run. There's no way Philadelphia loses this game.
Yeah, like I said, I'm picking Philly to win it. Philadelphia should win this. I'm just saying the Eagles teams that I've seen this year, you don't know who you're going to get. And Dallas, you never know, backup quarterback.
Well, Dallas has been in 3 situations this year where their backs have been against the wall, where they've desperately needed a win, and they have not been able to come through again.
Yeah.
And so this is a team that, you know, the next question you have to ask yourself: has the coach lost the locker room? And at this point, I'm you know, going to say I think he has. I think he's lost the locker room. I think. You know, once that happens, it's hard to win. And it's one of the reasons why I think the Cowboys have lost their last 3 games. And so I just don't see Philadelphia losing this football game because right now, if you're listening to Jalen Hurts in press conferences, that's a man on a mission.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you, have you listened to him in the press conferences?
Yeah.
If you listen to Jalen Hurts in the press conferences, this is the man that sits there and talks about this is what we did right, this is what we did wrong, this is what we got to correct. He sounds like he's in charge of the team.
Yep.
And his leadership is standing out.
You think he has a lot of say-so in this offense? Because you remember you were a very big opponent with, you know, they got Barkley, but Kellen Moore didn't run the football. And if it wasn't for Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley would probably be the number 1 guy.
Well, I will say this. They have made the shift, and once they made the shift to run the football, this team has taken off.
Yeah,
since they made that their priority.
Outside of Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley could have an argument of being the number 1 guy. I think that's why they're going to win this. And we'll get into it in our fantasy show later on, but Saquon Barkley is going to have a very big game in this.
All right, let's go to the last game here, brother. We got Detroit at Houston.
You know, last week I made a joke about you can't fool me twice. So this week we're not going to underestimate the Detroit Lions. I'm going to give it the Detroit Lions to win this game. I really like Houston. I'll be rooting for Houston personally, but Detroit's just an all-around good team. And they can run the football. They got great defense. Even though it's at Houston, the Detroit Lions, to me, are in that top 3 echelon of just complete teams. And until you beat them, you really can't pick against them.
Right. I told you all at the beginning of the year, I'm not picking anybody against the Detroit Lions all year long. That's my Super Bowl winner. That's my Super Bowl pick. I picked the Chiefs to make the AFC, you know, champion. My picture looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Then I've got all these crazy teams to make the playoffs, like the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going Detroit Lions. Heck, even Clint's going against the Texans. He's taking the Detroit Lions.
It's hard because if it was Kansas City and Houston right now, Kansas City. I think even Baltimore. That's a game. They're complete teams. I mean, you could do everything the Texans can't right now.
But I've been saying that all year. I've been saying this is a team with holes. You know, they just happen to be in a very weak division, and that's helped them out a lot. Being in a division where, you know, Jacksonville, I don't know what the hell's happened to Jacksonville. The problem is they've actually been competitive these last several games. They've actually been in games, but very much like the Giants, they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
You know, and they've been competitive. I think the Colts are in the same bowl, but the fact is they played a horrible game this past week.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think there's any real competition. Tennessee's already they're done.
Yeah.
So the Texans are going to ultimately, I think, just win that division. But I think they're going to win it as a division by default because I don't think this is the same team that we had last year. I just think, you know, once again, that the top echelon teams have gotten better.
Yeah.
And the Texans really have not.
Well, losing Diggs is going to hurt them in the long run, and I'll be very interested to see when Nico Collins comes back, kind of what he brings to it. But Houston right now has holes. I'm still picking them in the postseason solely because it's a win and go home, and people will surprise
Somebody
you.
can get hot. Now,
Correct.
if you get hot at the right time, that's one thing about the playoffs. You can get hot.
Yeah.
I'm a New York Giants fan. Trust me, I know all about being hot at the right time.
Yeah, but I just think this game right now, Detroit's just playing really good. They really do kind of look like a Super Bowl favorite. I will give you kind of credit on that one.
But once again, we'll see how it lasts because
Yeah.
you know a lot of things change. All of a sudden, you could have a game like the Chicago Bears, and all of a sudden the team falls apart. You know, you could have injuries, and all of a sudden the team falls apart. How do you respond to that? But so far this year, Detroit has responded to everything. You know, they've responded to injury. They have responded to bad weather games. You know what I'm saying? They have responded to the schedule. They have responded to an upgrade in their division with the Vikings being better, with the Packers being better, with the Bears being better. They have responded to all of those things, okay?
I think I can make one safe pick. Campbell will never lose that locker room. We talk about coaches losing the locker room, losing the team. I don't think he can.
Well, I don't think he's going to lose it this year, absolutely. But coaches ultimately over time, Tom Landry lost the locker room.
Yeah.
Okay? Chuck Noll lost the locker room.
You want to go 20, 30 years, but I'm saying right now,
right now.
they're bought in and they're eating kneecaps.
Yeah, they're eating
doing. That's what they're doing.
Brother, that's our picks, man. So get on board, man. Get on board. We're the Rant Squad. I'm the Water Dog. This is.
Bernard.
And Clint, our buddy, he's just, taking care of himself, brother. And y'all do the same. Y'all take care.